Hey guys, what's going on? Shifu Gregg here with the Authentic Shaolin Kung Fu School. Today we're going to be working on Mythbusters. We're going to be working on blocks, traditional blocks. Do they work? Do they not work? We'll see you there. Hey guys, what's going on? Shifu Gregg here with the Authentic Shaolin Kung Fu School. Today we are going to be going over, with our Mythbusters, we're going to be going over rising blocks and middle blocks, or blocks in general. And that's going to be the next series of our Mythbusters. But before we continue, guys, definitely like, subscribe, click that bell. Gives you guys instant notice every time that we make videos. Again, we are putting together a Patreon page. And this way you guys can, be a part of the growth, be a part of what we're doing, right? We're educating the public in these Mythbusters that we do. Really showing the real strong suit, the real strong side of Kung Fu, and how Kung Fu is not just about one style. Kung Fu is an embrace of a lot of different styles. And because of that, there's a lot of different theories in fighting, and a lot of people that do Kung Fu do fight. There's a lot of people that don't, and a lot of people that do. Let's show the similarities of what we are and who we are, because we're more similar than we are different, and that's something to think about. So today we're going to be going over rising blocks. So we're going to go rising block, middle block, and maybe palm or fan block. But right now, in a traditional base, right? We always think about Kung Fu as a traditional base, and right away we get into a stance and we're here, or we get into a stance and we're in cat stance. And this is not how this is going to apply, right? We learn our forms, and if you check out the form and function, you guys will understand exactly what I'm talking about. When you learn the forms teach you strength and transition movements. It teaches you how to be functional and mind-body connection. It teaches you the tools to use so that you guys can be able to fight. But it's not teaching you to fight. You have to do that on your own. Yes, you've got to do it on your own. You got to put in the work and you got to make it happen. So from guard stance position, again, 1.5 feet away from our opponent. The minute our opponent throws that lead, I'm going into a rising block. Now, rising block is in all different styles. You'll see it in MMA. You'll see it in traditional Okinawan styles. You'll see it in traditional Kung Fu styles. You'll see it all over the world. You'll see it in wrestling. It's a block. Somebody's trying to punch, and I want this thing out of my way. So it's going to be a rising block. So from here, doing this in forms all the time gives us an idea of where we want our arm to be when we're blocking. We never want it to be above our heads, because by that time the punch is already in. When my opponent punches, I come right in on him here. So now I can come in here and launch in with my forearm right into the ribs. So we understand that in the body, this is the weakest part. This is the strongest part. Our armor in our body is on the outside. Anything on the inside is tender. And if you got hit there, then you understand. So right away, we're going to go 1, 2, we're going to strike right in. If my opponent throws the other hand, I'm here and I come over the top. And this is just an inside hammer. This is a pressing, and this is just a reverse punch. So if we're going to work the drill, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we come right in here. And then, obviously, we can scoop that leg and take our opponent down. So we're going to take this a little quicker now. But what I'm going to add, and I want you guys to see what's happening, so there's no misreading, because you guys, when you guys are watching through video, it's very difficult to see exactly how much force I'm using and how viable it is, because believe me, video doesn't do this justice. It doesn't do justice in most of what you watch on any of the videos anyway. Not mine, just everybody's in general. So from guard stance, so from here, I come in. So I'm already protected. My left hand's protected. I'm hammering into the inside of the rib. Here, I do my block. I roll and hit here. From this position, I switch, and as I grab here, I'm taking my shoulder and putting it right into the top part of his thigh. That's what you're going to see. So if it happens, we'll switch to the other side too, so you guys get to see it. So we're going to do it at a decent clip. So again, I'm staying at distance at bay at my opponent. So the minute he comes in, I'm here, and then I have to roll. I have to apply that block immediately. He's not going to wait. But this hit here, this hit here is going to cause pain. So that might slow this. It might slow the technique down. It might not. So we can't assume. So we come here, and the minute we hit here, we switch, and we bring our opponent right to the floor. So we do that one more time. Sorry. Go. So from here, we hit, we come in and drop our opponent. We'll do it around the other side, you guys can see. Hopefully you guys are hearing me. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so from here, we roll, switch, and down to the floor. Now, a lot of the times, I'm using scoops because a takedown is part of our Kung Fu training. People that are doing Kung Fu that don't do takedowns are not utilizing their forms. And they're not utilizing form and function. And that's something that they should go back to. Okay guys, so the next one, so we were working with the outside. So from the lead punch, we're working with the outside and waiting for the other hand to come in. So now for here, I can utilize a palm block, which we're gonna do in a separate video. But I wanna mix this up a little bit. So the palm block, same side blocking, right? We don't block different. If he throws and I block this way or I block this way, that opens up the door for him to hit me. That's the reality of it, right? You open one door, the other door will swing, right? So from here, I block same side, and then I come right in on here. So if this is coming around, if this is coming around 1, 2, I'm blocking, rising block. And then I use my block as a chamber to set up. So this is a rising block with a lead punch. So we're gonna block and punch at the same time. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. Now I follow up here and come straight through. The follow up is right to the sternum. And as I come through, I take my forearm and put it up right against the neck. At this point, his body is on the back side of his hips. So at this point, I just go here and I drop my opponent to the floor. Now again, if my man was 370 pounds, I wouldn't use this technique. I'd use a different technique. So when you're fighting and when you're doing techniques and when you're doing drills, they have to be comparable to the opponent that you're working with. And that's how you choose which techniques. As a fighter, when you're fighting somebody, you're never gonna have the same size people. And because of that, you have to be able to, on the fly, because of all the tools and all the experience you have, to be able to decipher how this is all gonna pan out, right? So again, I'm gonna work with my opponent here, rising, reverse, in, step through, and I'm gonna drop. And I'm using more of my elbow on the lower part of my forearm. All right, so if we go a little quicker, it's here, and as I come in, I drop him right down to the floor. All right? I'll do it on the other side, see if it translates okay. So from here, hit and come in and drop my opponent down to the floor. And believe it or not, when I'm over my opponent, I make sure, so from this position here, when I hit, I make sure I'm leaning him back. Because at this point of the game, that's it. It doesn't take much to take your opponent down. Cool? Awesome. Okay guys, so again, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being a part of the school. Thanks for being a part of our video. Definitely like, subscribe, and follow. Click the bell. It definitely helps all the algorithms up. And you guys get immediate notification when we make new videos. And we're gonna be making new videos all the time. Check out, on that note, check out our other videos on form and function. You'll definitely like that too. So again, guys, look for the real martial arts. Really, really look for it out there. Look for it on videos, check out schools. See that there's more what we have is more similar than different. So check out those real schools. You'll know when you see it. Middle block can come here, middle block, and we can come over the top where we're going middle as a block, checking, and then throwing the lead in or stepping through with the elbow, right? So we can come in really easy, just here and hit. We can come in here, hit this way, sweep, and try to take that leg. So we can use the middle block as almost as an entry type of work.